With Platina Ezel being revealed tomorrow, I want to weigh in my thoughts and concerns as it really needs something good, so players can finally stop calling it a worst Ezel when it technically came out beforehand. Like mentioned, Blonde Ezel is currently outclassed by Ezel in every way possible. From their rearguard supports, to how they perform their attack combos, and how much pressure they pull off. And Ezel definitely loses on the card advantage front. The only thing Ezel has going for its ability to get on their grade 3 Vanguard by turn 2, which isn't really that amazing considering he loses a drive check and is waiting for the opponent to catch up in order to even use his ability to do multiple attacks. Meanwhile, a certain super robot doesn't even have this issue and can still do its shit without waiting. So what's the point of even using him? There's 3 things the deck needs to improve upon to even match Ezel, let alone surpass him. First off, Bushiroad should give Platina Ezel some way to apply pressure when he attacks. Blonde Ezel only gets 10k power when he uses his ability, which isn't really that threatening when there's no extra crit or drive check. A 33k power Vanguard attack with Persona right in this economy won't cut it anymore. I would even settle for a guard restrict ability at this point, just so it changes how the opponent guards his attack. I hear someone typing that Ezel technically pushes for similar numbers and requires his specific booster. To that I say Ezel has a divine skill that returns your critical triggers back as well as gaining an extra drive for 1 turn. All Ezel can do is call your triggers and return them within range, which already raises a red flag, as the low numbers really ruin your attack pattern. Just so you may have a chance to return a trigger and hoping to get them on your drive or damage checks. To solve this, I would say the D-Series Platina Ezel should take a page from ironically the V-Series version, where he literally stacks your deck while calling a rearguard to multi-attack with. Secondly, Ezel needs rearguard units that don't make him lose card advantage for a measly 5k power buff. I'm looking at Ubo mains and Azaltus. Both cards fail in comparison to Ezel's Nilgaris, who not only gets 10k power on revival then disappears from rearguard after battle to give way for new attackers, but he also becomes a free card in Soul on top of drawing you a card then stacking your deck. I know it's a unfair comparison, but you have to admit that Nilgaris should be the gold standard, pun very intended, for rearguard supports in the nation. Hopefully an encounter card like Bagdemagus would have this concept in mind. Finally, Ezel wants his rearguards to apply pressure outside of just having high power. To solve this, the deck needs to adapt what Bushiroad seems to be pushing for a lot of Keta Sanctuary decks as of late, and that's to have a rearguard unit that can perform drive checks. And no, using the nation's overtrigger doesn't really help the nation, as it's unpredictable and too risky to use, especially in the early game. It would be nice to see Garmor or even Pelennor return with this idea in mind. And let's be realistic, Platina Ezel sure as hell won't be a standing Vanguard, and Bushiroad seems to be straying the nation away from this mechanic with a few recent exceptions. And that concludes today's rambling. Special thanks to my Patreon members for continuing to support my content creation. Be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments how all my ideas will be for nothing, as Bushiroad will just make the deck call harder and give 5k power buffs.